Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the full board for May 22nd, 2025 to order. First item is Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is the invocation by Commissioner Don VanSyckel.
Thank you. Please bow your head. God of love, we trust in you with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, but on your wisdom. We acknowledge you in all our ways and in all our meetings so that you will direct our paths. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effective results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things, so Father, have your divine way in this meeting. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, next is adoption of agenda. Need a motion
Want
to
to
adopt.
adopt the agenda?
Moved by Romano, supported by Howard. Any changes to the agenda? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is approval of minutes dated April 10th, 2025. Need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Support.
Moved by Haas, supported by VanSyckel. Any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Next is public participation. This is the first opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any item which is on today's agenda. There'll also be a second opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak on any item. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Agenda items only. Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next is presentations. This is the BOC Casual Day Recipient Recognition for the Cassie, Hines Shoes Cancer Foundation. And I need a motion to receive and file.
Motion received.
Support.
Moved by Grote, supported by Howard. And I know someone is here from the foundation to speak. So Commissioners, this is one of our recipients for our casual day that we approve the entire year, and they're here today so they can be presented with their check for all the recipients from the employees for the month of May. So welcome.
Well, thank you for having us. My name is Chris Hines. I'm the president of the foundation, and this is Alexis, who's our donor development manager. We just, again, are just truly grateful and humbled that you would adopt our organization to be able to donate funds which help young adults who are struggling with cancer diagnoses after survivorship. Young adults are qualified as anybody who's age 18 to 40, and quite frankly, it's the single largest growing of cancer diagnosed patients in the country. And it's the least aware of it because essentially they just want to get back on with their lives. So what we do is we host a camp where we bring in typically 12 to 15 young adults for each one, and we bring them the opportunity through adventure-based, programs that they get a chance to, first of all, connect with peer support, but also learn to trust their body again. And I think that's so critical because what we hope in the impact part of this is that this is just the start of it. When they head back home again, they now have a whole new network of friends who get it. Because that was Cassie's problem as we were going through this, is that obviously she was surrounded by thousands of people who loved her and cared about her and prayed for her. But we didn't have any idea what she was going through. It's through that connection at peer support that she had this great idea, which she passed on to us, to be able to go ahead and do this. And so we feel very blessed, and we just wanted to say thank you again that you chose us out of the literally thousands of charities that you could have chosen. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Chris did not leave many words for me to say, but I will say that these funds are instrumental in supporting our programming. We've got a program coming up in June, and so this is going to be, helpful beyond words. And more than anything, now you all know our mission and are able to bring that to others that you know, to raise awareness and support more young adults with cancer. So thank you so much.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. We're thankful that you're here, and we're thankful we can partner with you on a great cause. So, Commissioners, anyone like to say anything? Okay, we are going to present them with their check. So Commissioners, first time we're doing it this way. So Commissioner Lucido and Walls, if you can scoot in, and everyone else, come behind. And we're going to take a quick picture.
Why don't you stay? You don't want. There you go. How much is the check for? How much is the check for?
$635.78.
Thank you. Okay, I just want to see how much the check was for.
Hold on, Mary. Commissioner Armano's coming.
Ready? Take a couple here. Were you trying to hide behind him?
I'm hiding from Sarah.
Don't take that to the
Careful,
bank.
she might cough on you. Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought you were gonna sit on those after. Yes.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, like that.
Adriana, did we vote on that? Not yet. I'm going to call the vote.
Yes.
Please vote, Commissioners.
Verna's still talking.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is proclamations. This is a proclamation honoring Tom Giftos on the 60th anniversary of National Coney Island, presented by Commissioner Perna, Commissioner Haw, and myself. I need a motion to adopt.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Haw, supported by Lucido.
Go with that one.
Howard, which one? Raise your hand. Okay.
One of the Warren folks.
Let's vote, and then Commissioner Perna, you're going to do in the presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion passes 13-0.
Okay, she got it.
Kind of bossy, isn't he?
VanSyckel, you're there too.
Campaign finance, I don't know how much money.
The team is very good.
Joseph?
He's gone. What's Joseph?
You don't know Perna like I know Perna.
I'm on.
It's a really pleasure for me because I knew Tom's dad very well going back 50 years ago, maybe 60 years ago. But you've been in business now 60 years. You follow your dad's wisdom. You have how many locations right now?
We've got 15. Most of them are still in Macomb County, of course, but yeah.
Great. So let me read this proc. It's a little
Okay.
long, but it
Okay.
really touches all the
right.
points. The Board of Commissioners, whereas the County Board of Commissioners would like to celebrate and honor Tom Giftos and National Coney Island on the occasion of their 60th anniversary. Whereas James Giftos founded National Coney Island in 1965 and opened the first store at Macomb Mall in Roseville, which is Mr. Hall's area.
I knew that.
Whereas National Coney Island, famous for their Detroit-style Coney Island hot dog topping with chili sauce, onions, and yellow mustard. National Coney Island also serves pitas, salads, and a variety of other menu items. Whereas the restaurant chain has continued to flourish under James' son, Tom, expanding to 17 locations and 850 employees. A testament to Tom's leadership. Whereas Tom has stayed true to the roots of a heritage of National Coney Island while adapting to modern business challenges. Tom Giftos has upheld the long-standing motto of being fast, fresh, and friendly. Whereas Tom Giftos has honored his father's vision while modernizing the business. To this day, National Coney Island remains a Detroit staple. Now, therefore, it is proclaimed by the Board of Commissioners and all the Board of Commissioners on behalf of all of us and the citizens of Macomb County, that by these presents, the Macomb County Board of Commissioners hereby publicly acknowledge and express its congratulations and success to Tom Giftos and National Coney Island on the occasion of their 60th anniversary. Be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be presented to Tom Giftos in testimony of his high esteem in which it is held in Macomb County by the Board of Commissioners.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I know you want to say a
Yeah,
few
yeah, of
words.
course I gotta say
And you've
something.
got some guests here.
Yeah, I've got, thank you to Jim and Harold and all the commissioners and the board. This is a great honor. We take a lot of pride in our history. You know, we've got a lot of awards hanging in our warehouse in Roseville, but most of them are for sponsoring golf outings and teams because we're very community oriented and we give back a lot. I think I'll proudly hang this one because I don't think a lot of businesses can claim that they've been around for 6 decades. And certainly, we wouldn't have been without these fine gentlemen behind me here, Bill Zanetti, Don Fields, Paul Boulanger, Bob Nichols, Rob Blackburn, all members of our 30-plus year club. And you referenced Macomb Mall. I'm sure Harold knows Don and Bill very well, but Bill started almost from day one at 1965 at the Macomb Mall. So we couldn't have done it with these fine people and all the people that have worked for us. And you mentioned 850 employees. That's something that we truly, take pride in as well, is supporting a lot of local people and their families. So thank you, and we really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We take some pictures. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, come on up. Take a picture.
Come on up here.
Which way should we stand? Right here?
Right here.
Thank you.
You bring any hot dogs?
Next week, we'll be here. Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Nice
you.
seeing
And I'm going to ask if Jim Perna is officially available to be a future spokesman for us, because, thank you. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Only if
He promised us chilies. So.
Take care, guys.
Next time.
Thank you.
I guess your answer is no, they didn't bring us no
Hot dogs. Jim probably didn't even ask him.
Okay, next, we are at appointments. Got a number of appointments here. Jury Commission, Older Advisory Committee, Macomb Agricultural Purchase of Development Rights Selection Committee, Contracting Ordinance Work Group, and County Seal Ordinance Work Group. I need a motion to concur with items 9A through 9E.
So moved.
Motion to concur.
Moved by Haas, supported by Grote. Discussion on these items. Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Can anyone withdraw from the contracting ordinance work group?
I know, nobody left.
Good try. All right, next is committee recommendations. As we all know, the public that is watching, these are discussed in subcommittees in great detail, so we're going to go through these fairly quickly, but they were discussed in subcommittees. So first is Finance Audit Budget Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve items 10A through 10E.
Support.
By Kraft, supported by Lucido. Any questions on those items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Okay, next is Internal Services Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve 11A through 11F and receive and file 11G and 11H.
So moved, VanSyckel.
Support.
Moved by VanSyckel, supported by Grote. Any questions on those items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Next is Health and Human Services Committee recommendations. Take a motion to approve 12A through 12E.
So moved.
support.
Moved by Haas, supported by Lucido. Any questions? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Next is Public Services Committee recommendation. I'll take a motion to approve 13A through 13N.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Goyke, supported by Zinner. Any discussion? please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Next is Records and Public Safety Committee recommendations. Take a motion to approve 14A through 14T.
Romano approves. Support.
Center.
Moved by Romano, supported by Howard. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Next is resolutions. I'll take a motion to adopt 15A and 15B.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
And next is our board office update, our monthly update. I'll need a motion to receive and file.
Support.
Moved by Wall, supported by Romano. Crystal?
Good afternoon. I am trying out a new format for my update this month. I realized I was just printing my notes when I was asked for an outline, and I just wasn't happy with that yesterday, so I wanted to freshen it up for you. So I will probably be working on tweaking this, but I wanted to present something that's a little more visually appealing. And I also, before I started, wanted to thank the committee chairs who stayed after the meetings last week to meet with staff. I know staff really appreciated the opportunity to share with you their side of things and get the feedback from you so they can best support you in getting the agendas published efficiently and timely. Okay, I have a couple civic clerk updates. They made a change to the public portal that unless a document is published, it would show the pending agenda items. So to prevent that, Adriana went through and created a meeting notice for every single meeting. So if you're on the public portal and you notice a meeting notice there instead of the agenda, that's there on purpose until the final agenda is published. Also, as we went through the process to change over to a new agenda management system, and we completed the discovery and did more of our due diligence, it was determined that we're best staying with Civic Clerk for now. So the good news is you don't have to learn a new system next month. And we are renegotiating our contract to make sure the support level is there. And we haven't had any problems in a while either. They're continually coming out with updates and improvements and enhancements. There are 2 Veterans Affairs Commission appointments coming up in July. The board actually has a resolution that adopted a policy that indicates we're supposed to advertise these for 90 days, which we did in this case, and it feels like it's been forever. So we really feel like that's too long, and so that policy has been added to our list of items to review and update. However, those 2 will be made in July. I just wanted to mention that. And if you know anyone that might be interested, those applications are due July 15th. This is a very early heads up, but the Older Adult Advisory Committee appointments are made in December. Those are staggered between the commissioner terms to allow new commissioners to get more familiar with what that committee does and who their representative is before they have to make an appointment. So I'm mentioning that now so that you might want to consider attending one of the meetings, speaking to your representative if you haven't lately, and or if you're out and about in the community and you meet someone that might be a good fit for this, to keep that in mind, because we will be making those at the end of the year, and that's going to come up pretty fast. HR is holding voluntary benefit enrollments in the lobby in June and July. If anyone currently has one of these, they do have to re-enroll, but I was able to confirm none of the commissioners fall in that category, so this would be something new you would be signing up for any of the voluntary benefits that are allowed. They are visiting each individual department, but we really didn't see a need for that here. So if one of these dates don't work for you and you want to do that, let me know. We can work something out. I just didn't want to waste their time sitting in our office if we didn't have anyone who wanted to sign up for that. And then as I went through the statistics, I realized it's not really comparable data because I'm giving you from full board last month to full board this month. This past month was about a month and a half, and sometimes it's going to be a few weeks or several weeks more. So starting next month, I'd like to present you with the month before a complete month. So this month and next month are going to be a little weird, but after that, it will be more consistent. So we actually have data that we can compare. So I just wanted to point that out. But as we were compiling these statistics, we realized it's not really a good way to measure things. So we are starting to track a lot more in the office, so you'll probably see more charts on this too. And then over time, we'll be able to identify trends and things like that. Moving on to the events, the two on the left were the ones that just took place. When I was before you last month, I mentioned we were in the middle of our busiest season for events. We had almost one event every week in the month of April. Staff worked really hard to pull all that off. I think we had a really beautiful volunteer recognition reception where 29 volunteers were recognized at a reception of almost 60 people. We held the 2 Green Schools events. The MISD breakfast event where we individually acknowledged the schools, we had around 100 in attendance there. And we had 460 that attended the Detroit Zoo event. And your hardworking staff stuffed 460 backpacks with giveaways and snacks for all of those kids. So you can imagine the assembly line we had in the library those 2 days. And then loaded it all into 2 vehicles and set it all up in the rain. So luckily it held off most of the day though. On the right is the upcoming events. So Commissioner VanSyckel is holding a drop-in bike ride on Saturday, June 7th. Our Yoga at the Hill is at the end of July, Saturday, July 26th. As we get closer, we will remind you that we're looking for donations for the raffles. And we do make signs that indicate which commissioners provided prizes. So we really would want to include you on that sign. So if you can get that to us before the event, that would be helpful. And the next Older Adult Advisory Committee meeting is next Tuesday, the 27th at 3 p.m. here. Martha T. Berry will be presenting. And then Adriana is working on an off-site location for June. So watch for information about that. If that does happen to fall in your district, she will reach out to you individually too to make sure you're aware of that and see if you want to participate in any way. The bottom of the page, I have our hunch-free stats since last full board. It's probably goes without saying that they had to update the website with the changes in events from the ones that ended to the new ones that were being announced. Mary's been working on keeping the commissioner bio pages updated, so between the commissioners and Hunch-Free, those are getting updated. They will continue to update our budget page as you receive the quarterly reports, and we'll add the budget calendar that was just adopted today. And there were 2 press releases that were added. We had 41 posts over 42 days. A couple of the new series we started that you will see is the Volunteer Spotlight, which will highlight each of the different volunteers that were recognized at our event throughout the year, and the presentation of the monthly casual day check, which we just did earlier today. Some of you may have noticed last month we invited the charity to come and pick up the check in the office, but we thought we would make it more of a board event, and they were really happy to attend the meeting with all of the commissioners and receive that today. Hunch-Free covered our volunteer recognition event and both Green School events and created Reels for All. They also covered the governor's luncheon, and they filmed the second commissioner community clip. Thank you to Commissioner Zinner and Chair Sabatini. They were the first 2 who filmed those. So if you want to check those out on our social media pages, that'll give you an idea of what those would look like and maybe help you come up with an idea of your own. They're just casual and fun, and they're not very long. And they also sent out our main newsletter. That received a 38% unique open rate, which is pretty good, especially considering we can't use any of the enticements that most companies can. We can't offer something for free or a coupon or those words that will get them to click. So that is something we're continuing to track also, even as far as what time of the day we send it out, what day of the week. And so if we start to see greater activity based on that, we'll tweak that too. So that's just one of the other things we're starting to track. We created a senior spotlight part of the newsletter, and that this month it covered the Senior Project Fresh, and that was the top link clicked in the newsletter. On the top of the next page are the IQ stats. The messages were a little down this month, but this is something I really thought we would be able to see trends in if we were tracking it month by month, and we probably will be able to identify what's causing that. For example, when it rains a lot, we get a lot of messages because people don't know who to call about flooding. So we would probably be able to see what's causing those trends. And we have been using IQ for around a year now. So as we get more familiar with the messaging part of it, we're starting to use all the other tools it offers. It's being used for the registrations for both the bike event and Yoga at the Hill. We are going to start using it for our newsletter, slowly transitioning to that. And it does have a variety of reports we can run and a lot of different filters. So I did just a correspondence report in that pie chart below. I wasn't crazy about the way it looked, but I'll work on that for next month. But if you're looking for something specific for your district, let us know and we can probably run it. We're still just experimenting with the different reports we can run and what might work best, which ones we want to run routinely and track. And then in the green box are action items for commissioners. Just a reminder to please send photos of any events that you attend. We'd like to do a special post for any of the Memorial Day events attended by commissioners. So if you attend something this weekend, please send us information. Please consider doing a drain cleanout post specific to your district. Chair Sabatini did this with the information from Public Works, and it will help you share specifically for your district what they're doing for that area. And a reminder to schedule your community video clip. And like I said, if you want to get an idea of what the other ones look like, they're both on our social media. I've attached the instructions to complete your ethics training and workday in case you don't have the original email you received for those. And if you're attending the Martha T. Berry Tour and Lunch in July, please make sure you RSVP for that. And that concludes my report, but I would be happy to expand on anything I touched on or answer any questions.
Thank you, Crystal. Great job. Like the new report. Any questions, commissioners, for Crystal? Okay, know where to find her. Thank you, Crystal. Okay, we'll move on to public participation. This is the opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next is other board and commission updates. Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I'll go from the bad to the good with community mental health. As most of you know, there's challenges happening right now at the state level, the federal level, in terms of budgeting and MDHHS and working relationships with them and all that stuff. So we're monitoring it the best we can at every level possible. But I can tell you from our standpoint, Macomb, for now, is still doing fairly well compared to our statewide partners. I just found out that going into the next year, potentially, the state has 10 PIHPs. We are one of them. 8 of them are expected to go into the risk corridor, which is not a spot that you really want to be in. We are one of the 2 that are not projected to go into that risk corridor. So like I said, as of now, so far, funding-wise, we're doing okay, but we're still fighting fights on so many fronts when it comes to that, when it comes to our contract with the state, when it comes to the state budget, that I don't know if it's going to happen at the end of June or September. And then, of course, the federal budget that's, everybody's hearing about right now. So that's the kind of the, iffy spot, I guess. But the positive is I want to thank the commissioners that attended the Mental Health Awards dinner last week. It was a great success. We had a massive waiting list of people that wanted to get in. We had rave reviews from a lot of people that I talked to that attended. And so I just want to thank those that attended and thank our CMH staff, because as our staff knows, events like that take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it was fantastic. So thank you to them, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
It was a very nice event, Commissioner Kraft. Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. I saw it was a brief news clip that I happened to see in the afternoon. And I saw, and then I looked it up, which was a little confusing, but what the gist of it was, and it took place in Pensacola, which is not in water around here. However, a girl got caught in a riptide, and a shark fisherman had just come out to the beach just to sit after he was shark fishing. And along that strip of beach, wherever it was, there are facilities that have drones, that have safety vests on them for such things as that. And I don't know how he got it. The first time, things said that he went and got it from those facilities, and 2 other women grabbed him too. I guess they had 3 at that building. And he sent the drone out, and it was windy, and so he missed her. The woman brought him another drone, not a real big drone, according to what I saw, and then he took it out slower, and the girl was now really having a hard time. And he got it right by her. Her arm went up, and he dropped that safety vest, and she lived because of that. Now, I don't know that we have these situations here as they do when it's the ocean, but it was incredible to see, and life-saving, obviously, because no one around that area that was there could swim, and it was a bad riptide. So anyway, it was an amazing thing. The drone wasn't that big, and it was a life-saving situation. So really something to be aware of. Thank you.
Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. Since Commissioner Kraft brought up the CMH dinner, I want to personally congratulate him and Commissioner Wallace. The affection, appreciation, the thank yous that he received as chairman was just heartwarming to watch. The participants were just so appreciative of everything that's being done by these two to keep it afloat with their board and their membership in such financial chaos as we have right now. I just want to tell them both thank you very much. That's all I have, Chair.
Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Chair. I think we've all heard the expression, the wheels of government turn extremely slow. You commissioners were kind enough to allow some funds for a traffic signal light. Sterling Heights, which I think was, I'm going to ballpark it, 6 months ago. Well, I just got a notice from JP who said, Mr. Romano, we finally got everything coordinated. The traffic light will be going on, and we wanted to let you know in case any of the commissioners would like to be there present. But I said to him, why don't you just wait till school gets over with? It's only a couple of weeks, and we can put one in then. But anyway, I wanted to thank you again because your participation financially is going to be able to install that traffic signal light, which we agreed to participate in, and I'm going to say 6 months ago. And it's been that long since they could coordinate to get a traffic signal light in front of a school, a intermediate or grade school. It boggles your mind when you think about government trying to move fast. That's all I got. Thank you much.
That was fast.
Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. I also wanted to thank the commissioners that were able to go to the mental health event. I unfortunately had a last minute emergency come up, so I was not able to attend, but it does make a big difference to see different departments show up for one another. And as Phil said, the staff is wonderful. That event is a huge event, and it takes so much work to put together. So thank you all that were able to come. And even though some of you weren't able to come, you did put a foot forward to try to make it. So thank you for that. As far as Michigan Association of Counties, I have been talking to them to maybe assist in spreading the word of what is going on with funding in our state and how it's affecting different mental health organizations. So that's a topic that may be discussed at our next conference. We are still in discussion for that. I've been selected by NACO to attend their leadership conference. That is the first week in June. So I will be there on behalf of MAC and Macomb County, and I will come back with hopefully a ton of information to share. So that is my update. Thank you.
Commissioner Goyke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The update I'd like to give is, looking at the chart, you can see all the messages. The first district almost has a quarter of all the messages coming into this office, and that's mainly because of the road department and public works office. The constituents out there, because we spend that extra money for Candace's office, they're really happy on the progress that's going, because it's all been explained that they can't fix it right away. And she's got a program going that works, into the future, and they know that they're on the list, and they're following that list to get a lot of county drains taken care of. And, being that I work there, it's throughout the whole county that she makes sure work gets done, from 8 Mile Road all the way up to Boardman. So there's nobody really complaining. They just want to know information usually for that. But the roads department is actually not doing very well on handling ditch cleaning. There was $300,000 extra money given for that. They don't even have any programs of where that's going. I've met with some of our townships. It's kind of disappointing. We've got roads washing out and stuff like that. And them are the calls that are coming into this office, most of the time. I think our staff could probably verify that's mostly what's coming in. So an update, Public Works, I think, is doing very well, but our roads is lacking a little bit. So thank you for everybody. And just to give you an understanding of what's going on in the first district, why we have so many phone calls.
Okay, any other board commission updates? I don't see any. We need to vote on the monthly update. We did not vote on that, so Adriana, if you want to cue that vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Okay, next is commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments? Some of those kind of were combined in there, but I do want to say just a couple things, a couple of shout outs. I know we've had Public Works and the county clerk here most recently in subcommittees presenting the AI with the drones and the awards that they got, and also the county clerk and the 2 awards they got. And quite honestly, I just, cooperation with those departments and the board allowed them to get these awards. So kudos to them, makes us all look good. So congratulations to both of those departments. And then also today, amongst many other commissioners that attended the Sheriff's Recognition Awards, really nice ceremony here locally. Incredible, all the awards that were given out. And we hear about these things in the news, but when you see them again, and you see these individuals going across the stage and their families there, the dedication of our deputies and officers collectively, and what we provide them resources to get their job done is a win-win, and so proud of all of them. So, okay, seeing
Motion to adjourn?
Commissioner Howard came on the board late.
Don't let him speak.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware. Throughout the month of June, we're working with the Michigan State Police, and we're giving out 600 gun locks throughout the county, mostly throughout the county. Clinton Township, 2 spots in Mount Clemens, East Point, and Warren and Centerline. And so Michigan State Police provided 600 gun locks for us to give out, and we're starting June 1st. And so I'll email out all those dates and stuff so that you guys are aware. And sorry, not making it up to Richmond, but if you need
don't have to. We got enough gun locks.
So I just, as a gun owner myself, I just want to continue to promote safety. One of the things that was mentioned today during the Sheriff's Awards is how a young lady had access to unsecured firearm, and thankfully the dispatcher was able to talk her down and save this young girl's life. We had someone with a pistol inside of Centerline School District. Another unsecured firearm. So we just want to continually promote safety, and so trying to do that across the county. So I'll send out information about that tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Made by Romano, supported by Wallace. Please vote.